In this series, we're looking at another layer in the story of the character you are here to play, the lines of your profile. This gives us another piece of information about the main character in the story of your life. We've looked at each of the 5 energy types. You can find those videos on the types playlist. And if you don't have your quantum human design chart, you can run a free chart using the link in the description. Be sure to know your exact birth time, date, and place in order to run an accurate chart. Your profile will be listed on your chart next to where it says profile, and it looks a little bit like a fraction. There are 12 profiles in human design made up of 6 lines. Your profile is a combination of 2 lines out of the 6. Your profile represents qualities and characteristics that your main character has. It tells you a lot about your purpose and what you need to feel stable and grounded. It tells you a lot about how you make change in your life, how you learn, and even about how you do relationships, and gives you insight into the quality of those relationships. Understanding your profile gives you a lot of information about the personality of your main character, also known as your energy type. And if you look at your chart, you'll see at the very top on either side, there's a symbol of a sun. It's the circle with a dot in the middle. And next to both of those sun placements, there is a whole number, and then a decimal point, and then another number. Your profile is derived from the number on the right in both placements. So on your soul purpose side and your life purpose side. Some chart software may say personality or design at the top of those columns. So in this particular chart, you will see 48.1 and you'll see 39.3. The profile of this particular chart is a 1 and a 3, so that means that this is a 1-3 profile. Find your profile on your chart and note what 2 lines it is comprised of. These 2 lines play together in defining aspects of your personality. They are both relevant and they both carry the same amount of weight. Neither one is more important than the other. Some profile lines have a conundrum built into them, this internal conflict or incongruence that you may feel within yourself, within your own personality. As you continue to go through all the different layers in your chart, you'll start to see that there are a lot of conundrums or these incongruences within all of the different layers. There are many places where you'll have conflicting elements or archetypes that seem to be at odds with each other. And these are places where you are intentionally designed through your soul curriculum to push against yourself in order for you to grow. And the maturing theme of these themes in your chart that seem to be at odds with each other or in conflict with each other are actually part of what you need to rectify. What you need to find a path between, a balance between, or equanimity or harmony in order to become more mature, more wise, more grounded, and even more effective in your life. In this video, we're looking at the line 5. So if your profile has a 5 in it, this will apply to you. That means if your profile is a 2-5, a 3-5, a 5-1, or a 5-2. The line 5 is called the heretic at the baseline expression and the visionary leader in the quantum expression. As a 5th line, you have a very important role of leading people to the fulfillment of potential. As a reminder, we are still looking at the first few layers in the story of the chart. When we looked at each of the 5 energy types, we looked at the main character that you're here playing. And now this additional layer of looking at each of the lines of your profile is taking a deeper look into your character and looking at the characteristics of the personality of your character. These are just a couple of explorations out of all of the different layers and archetypes of the chart. We've already seen that there are certain archetypes that are similar, not exactly the same, but similar. They have similar themes and traits. The reason why I want to bring this to your awareness is that you're going to begin to see that there's a pattern. Part of what that pattern is going to reveal to you is that even though there are complexities in the chart, at the root, underneath the themes of the chart, the themes of the human story are actually not as diverse as all of the little subtle expressions of those themes. So when we look at the line 2, for example, and the need for alone time, we also know that there are types, energy types, such as the generator and the projector, that need alone time for rest and renewal. When we look at the line 4, we see the need for stability. And if we start to think about that in the context of the generator experience, we see how the generator needs to manage change or control their environment so that they can stay stable when they're feeling frustrated on that plateau of the learning curve. The 4th line energy is going to bring in this extra superpower that can potentially support a generator in that process if that's part of the qualities and the characteristics of your type. So you're starting to see how these layers are coming together and play out in the bigger story. So back to the 5th line. We see the potential for leading people into the fulfillment of a potential, into a fulfillment of a possibility. And that 5th line energy is able to project out to their followers, their audience, their friends, their people, the people that they're leading, this potential out in front of them so that they can lead people in the fulfillment of that potential. There are 2 energy types as well that really do the same type of thing, but in different ways. It's the projector and the reflector. The projector is here to lead people in the fulfillment of their potential, and the reflector, in the exalted expression as the calibrator, is here to calibrate people towards that potential by simply being the fulfillment of that potential themselves. So again, I'm bringing this to your awareness because I'm wanting you to start to see that not only the wide variety of components that make up the juicy, beautiful complexity of the story that is this character that you're here playing, but also because I want you to start to see, as you look at these different aspects of your personality, that even though there may be a lot of different parts that seemingly have different names and different roles, that many of these archetypes are actually very similar. You'll start to see that really at the heart of the story of your character are really just 1 or 2, sometimes 3 major themes that get activated or triggered, if you will, every time you go through a growth cycle. And when you start to have this awareness of those themes, then you start to be able to cultivate a skill set to navigate your way through those conundrums of your own story, those parts of your own narrative. So the 5th line as the visionary leader has this ability to really see the potential in someone or in something, and then to be able to lead them or lead those people into that potential. Oftentimes, the visionary leader is also a healer, and through people's interaction with them, they will become healed because they're being led to that fulfillment of their potential. They're being healed from frustration, mediocrity, or feeling as if they're not enough. If they're not tapping into the fulfillment of who they can be, that 5th line can show them, can reveal to them energetically and even through actions the possibility. Sometimes when we're in a healing process, we are, of course, not completely healed. And there can be a tendency through the energetic dynamics of this 5th line energy for people to project onto you the parts of themselves that are unhealed. What can happen in the 5th line experience is that if you're not valuing yourself and you're not placing yourself in an environment with people who know and understand your value, they may be projecting onto you expectations, stories, or fantasies about what they think you said that you do, or what they thought that you promised them. People can express disappointment in you, or they may be hurt by you, or frustrated, or even angry with you, depending on other aspects of your character. They may feel like you did not meet their expectations, when really it's you not meeting their projections. This is not an uncommon experience for the 5th line. It's part of your learning story. As a 5th line, you're here to learn to really place yourself within environments where people value you, much like in the same way a projector type needs to learn the same. In fact, in traditional human design, we call the energy of the 5th line the projection field. You are being projected upon, and you are also projecting to others the potential or the possibility. When you're in the wrong place with the wrong people who don't see your value, you run a risk of being projected upon in a way that can be very hurtful or even harming of your own sense of self-worth. And so many 5th lines, because they've had this experience, particularly as their youthful story, they learn to hide. Much like the 2nd line, they really learn to hide themselves. So a 2nd line will hide away And the fifth line will hide themselves, their true self. And they can hide themselves so well that you don't actually really see them, the true them. As a fifth line, it can take a long time to feel comfortable and safe to truly reveal yourself to the people around you. And that can sometimes become problematic, particularly if you're leading. It's hard to lead when you can't be seen. It's hard to lead when you're not revealing yourself and allowing yourself to be vulnerable because you're afraid of the projections and the expectations of others. In the shadow of this fifth line energy, there is a fear of revealing your true self. This fear of being seen, or this fear that you cannot be seen, that people will not see you for who you are. And that can be, of course, very hurtful because feeling seen and heard and recognized is part of what makes you feel loved. Oftentimes, the fifth line will bring this injured heart into their story. And this injured heart is the feeling of not being seen for who you are. It becomes part of what has to be mastered in the unfolding of the story of your character. So as you go from the beginning of your journey, from this fear of being seen, and evolve yourself into this visionary leader who has to be seen in order to lead, is the journey of the heretic learning to place themselves in the right environment with the right people who truly value them in order to get to fulfill that role as the visionary leader. And included in that quantum purpose of the visionary leader is to serve as the karmic mirror for others. Through that reflection of showing people and through that experience of people projecting onto you, you show others the possibility and the potential of what they can become. And you support the healing process through this reflection by teaching and sharing the highest potential of humanity possible. The fifth lines, much like a reflector or even much like a projector, they have to work on fully embodying their own potential and making sure that they're regulating their outer environment by being clear about their boundaries and self-worth. In doing so, you will attract the right people who are ready to do the work, who through this relationship with you can see their possibility as you support them in fulfilling the potential of who they are here playing. Ultimately, through your own experience in the groups of people that you support, you will be supporting them in the fulfillment of the potential of who the group is, who the community is, and you will support the fulfillment of the highest potential of humanity. Be sure to check out the other line in your profile on the Profiles playlist. If you're interested in quantum human design and you want to deepen your understanding, you don't have to do your online learning alone. I have a special offer solely supporting new and current students in the School of Quantum Human Design who use my referral links when enrolling in any QHD certifications. You're supporting me by using my referral link, and in turn, I will support you with additional one-on-one guidance, tutoring, mentoring, coaching, or consulting based off an in-depth understanding of your personal chart. You get to go on this journey with a direct guide who has been working in this capacity for over 2 decades. To learn more and download my free guide, click on the Consult with Kas link in the description of this video. I love connecting with you in the comments. Let me know what your profile is or share what resonated with you the most from this video. If you don't know what to say, you can simply leave the eye emoji. Remember, you are loved. I'll see you in the next video.